Hi. So the Uddiyana Bandha stretch. You know that the Uddiyana Bandha and the Mula Bandha actually work together. It's a Mula Bandha, you're gently lifting the pelvic floor, and the Uddiyana Bandha kind of joins it and then still continues to lift and pull back the lower belly. So it's this great little unit that works together. But if you are using that area in the forward bending and back bending and basically everything, then you have this whole protection system working for you. It protects your hamstrings, your back, and it's really good to do in anything. So in terms of a forward stretch, so firstly, let's look at Paschimottanasana, so forward stretching. So the tendency, what looks really amazing is when you lift, your sitting bones and you kind of stretch forward and you've got this flat back, but actually that can be damaging to your hamstrings, to your back, and so even if you're super flexible, still over time, the wear and tear in that area. Having that base of support where you're gently pulling up the pelvic floor, lifting the chest and the lower belly moves back in towards the spine. And you can even help yourself by placing your thumbs just above the hips and sort of rotating your hips back a little bit. So over time, you're going to be able to do that yourself by just controlling the Uddiyana Bandha, but this is super helpful by pulling that sort of flesh right above your hip bones back, stabilizes the hips, and then lifting the chest and folding forward. So you're pushing back with your thumbs, the flesh just above the hip bones, as you're folding forward. And basically I feel nothing on the hamstrings, and my lower back also feels completely released. Everything feels so free. So that's really helpful. And even if you're only going a very shallow bend forward, you can still do that. And if you need a teacher to push your back a little bit to help you bend forward, you're just protecting yourself by allowing that sort of lower belly area and the hips to move back. It feels amazing. So from standing, similar sort of thing. So before you fold forward, instead of just collapsing in and also again sort of flattening the back that we tend to see, is that you want to fold, well firstly, you want to lift the lower belly a little bit and squeeze the inner thighs so you have a little bit of a roundness in the lower back. And then as you're folding forward, you're still squeezing the inner thighs. And as you fold, you're creating this nice little bowl in your lower belly. The lower belly is coming in towards the spine, and you can continue to sort of curl the back. So you're really, just sort of curling that lower back, but you're still stretching forward. So I can get a really amazing stretch, and especially when I'm holding onto my legs, I can continue to curl in as I fold forward. So I still have some space there in the lower belly. I can get my hands through there. If you're bending forward, not too much, not all the way down, if you're still working on flexibility, if you have a wall in front of you, again, you're lifting the chest, lower belly comes in, you're folding from the hips, and you can press against the wall to sort of allow you to get that rounding right at the base of the spine there. You're sort of curling the tail a little bit, and it feels amazing as you're stretching forward and curling. So as you continue to do that, you can walk down the wall, and you also always want to make sure that your legs are working. So again, kind of a squeezing together, imagining there's a brick in between your thighs, folding forward. The chest is lifting, but that lower belly's moving back towards the spine. You can also keep your thumbs right above those hips, pushing back, and so much is released when you're able to do that. Like right now, if I fold forward, I can feel it in my hamstrings, I can feel it in my lower back. But as soon as I give myself a little bit of space and I use my legs a little bit more, I feel incredible freedom. So I hope that makes a bit of sense.